Harris Dawson and Councilmember Fuentes. This is the Planning and Land Use Management Committee. Looks like we could take a number of items on consent today. Items 7 we will note and file. Items 4, 5, 6 we could take on consent. So moved. Second by Mr. Harris Dawson, so ordered, with no objections. If we could go to item number 1, please.
Item 1, Councilman, is a motion, Corretz Englander. It's asking planning and BOE to allow the construction of a single-family lot, of a single-family dwelling on a lot, and for a reduction on the street width.
Okay, staff here on this item?
No, Councilman, this will be, it's a referral to initiate it, and since there's a request embedded in the motion to reduce the width of the street, that component belongs in the Public Works Committee. So if we adopt the motion, we may want to also duly refer it to Public Works.
Okay, we'll refer this item to staff and also refer it to Public Works.
Okay, so we'll adopt it and refer it to Public Works Committee.
Yeah.
Okay.
Adopt it, by that you mean?
Adopt the request of the motion.
Request of the motion to initiate it, yes. Okay, thank you. Any objections? No objections, so ordered. Item number 2.
Item 2, Councilman, this involves the EIR and the mobility plan, and as well as the amendments to the mobility plan.
Okay, so this is make some tech. Yes, staff.
Planning staff
welcome.
Has prepared a few words on the item number
2.
Number 2, yes.
Yes, welcome.
Good afternoon, council members. My name is Maya Law with City Planning, and I'm here to discuss the proposed amendments to the mobility plan. The plan before you today is largely the same one the council adopted in August of last year, that, as you recall, included 3 council-initiated amendments. Those amendments focused on safety, equity, community outreach, and council office involvement. The plan under consideration today includes those 3 council-initiated amendments, as well as a number of additional text amendments to reflect the additional council motions that were introduced last August. These text additions include language focusing on implementation on disadvantaged communities, providing culturally tailored multilingual outreach, ensuring flexibility in the selection and design of streets identified on the enhanced networks, and bolstering the language around equity to ensure that we recognize this plan isn't only about creating more transportation options, it's also about improving transportation for those with few options today, including the large transit-dependent population that exists in our city. City Planning recommends that the Planning and Land Use Management Committee uphold the long-range citywide vision that the mobility plan sets for a safe, balanced, and equitable transportation future for all. Thanks, and if you have any questions.
Great. Any questions? No questions, so we'll move this item.
Terry Kaufman, Messiah City Attorney's Office. Just want to clarify that what's before you is the entire mobility plan with the amendments. That's what City Planning Commission acted on when they made their recommendation December 19th, and that's what's in front of you today.
Okay. Thank you. We've been joined by Mr. Cedillo. Item number 2. Any objections?
So, Councilman, before you take action, we need to read into the record that you need to make a finding as it relates to this case to adopt the mobility plan EIR, the amendments to the addendum rather to the EIR, and the finding being made is that a supplemental EIR is not required for the approval of the amended mobility plan 2035, and also because of consistent with section 15162 of the California Environmental Quality Act guidelines, and also to adopt a resolution which indicates that the amendments to the general plan were adopted to the land use element of the general plan, and as well as amendments to the map.
Okay, moved by Mr. Fuentes, second by Harris Dawson. Any discussion? Any objections? So ordered. Item number 3, please.
Item 3, Councilman, is City Attorney prepare ordinance for the Broadway Supplemental Use District in your district.
Thank you. We heard this item last week, and we want to thank the city attorney for a quick turnaround on the final ordinance. I want to thank the staff again for their due diligence and work on this. And so we'll move it. But we do have one public speaker, Stash Maleski.
Yeah, it's Stosh Maleski. Thank you.
Okay.
Do we have 1 minute? Okay. I'm Stosh Maleski. I'm the director of ICU Art, a local mural and painting company that employs graffiti artists and other hand-painted muralists to paint advertising and fine art murals throughout the city and throughout the country. And I would like to, I'm in support of this program to see signs allowed to go up on Broadway corridor. I would just like to encourage you to make sure that they remain open to hand-painted murals. Throw us a bone here on this. It's been really difficult, even with the new sign ordinance, to find paying clients for murals. And the way that the fine art mural ordinance was written, it made it very difficult for artists to actually make any kind of money doing this. And this seems to have a little kernel of opportunity for artists. So I would encourage to allow signs to be hand-painted at ground level as well as up high, and to make sure that we make allowances for artists to make these proposals working with tenants and building owners, and not just big companies and not just super graphics.
Thank you, sir. Time is up. Thank you.
Is there any way to be involved in the
Yes.
further planning of this?
If you could talk to Sean Cook here on the side.
Okay. Thank you.
From my staff, and Jessica and my staff. Thank you.
Councilmember Huizar, Terry Kaufman, Mesilla City Attorney's Office. A couple of things. One is there was some pagination error, so that's been corrected, and those pages have been already submitted to the clerk, but it doesn't change anything substantive. And then I just wanted to read a couple of things into the record.
Sure.
Okay. So the recommendations of this body, subject to mayor approval, if this is what the committee wants to do, is to find that the project was assessed in EMV 2014-2712 MND adopted on August 13, 2015, pursuant to CEQA guidelines section 15162, based on the whole of the administrative record, that no subsequent EIR or negative declaration is required for approval of the project. Adopt the findings pursuant to, in accordance with section 21081.6 of the California State Public Resources Code, the Mitigation Monitoring and Reporting Program is the findings of the council, and adopt the Mitigation Monitoring and Reporting Program. Adopt the findings of the Director of Planning as the findings of council. Present and adopt the accompanying ordinance approved by the City Planning Commission, amending Ordinance 180871, the Q qualified conditions. Adopt the accompanying ordinance establishing a signage supplemental use district pursuant to LAMC 1113, known as the Historic Broadway Sign Supplemental Use District, and prepare and adopt the accompanying ordinance adding Chapter 170 to the Administrative Code to establish the Broadway Streetscape Fund for the Historic Broadway Sign Supplemental Use District.
Okay. Thank you. With those comments by the city attorney, we'll move the final ordinance. Any objections? So ordered. This item is in council tomorrow. Is that correct?
Yes,
Thank you.
and the mobility plan.
And the mobility plans in council tomorrow as well. Okay. Thank you. Any other items?
No, Councilman.
No other items. Happy Martin Luther King Day. This meeting is adjourned. Thanks.
Oh, public comment? Councilman, public comment?
Comment. No public comment. Thank you.
Decreed.